Our investigative journalism segment, Action TV, is up next.
A group of officers from the Sri Lanka Mahavellia Authority who failed to understand that water is being let to go waste as a result of their actions for a period of 18 days today arrived at the Pimburathava reservoir. These officers worked tirelessly to prevent the water from going to waste. On Sunday, Action TV highlighted the fact that farmers were amazed that the sluice gate at the Pimburathava reservoir was completely opened, which also resulted in canals and streams in the area to break their banks. At the start of the Maha season, the Sri Lanka Mahavellia Authority issued notice that water needs to be used for harvesting purposes sparingly. This notice was also issued to farmers who utilize water from the Pimburathava reservoir. On the 14th of January, the water levels at the Pimburathava reservoir dropped to 18 feet. The fear of losing water for their farmlands amongst the farmers washed off when the area was blessed by a heavy rainfall on the 15th of January. However, dry weather followed soon after the notice that was issued to use the water of the Pimburathava reservoir sparingly for the cultivation purposes should have been implemented. In this backdrop, the sluice gate of the reservoir was completely opened on the 31st of January this year. The maintenance engineer of the Valikanda Mahavellia Resident Management Office also had to arrive at the location after he was informed by the officer at the location that the sluice gate of the reservoir cannot be closed. In this backdrop, where water from the reservoir continued to go to waste, the maintenance engineer failed to rectify the issue. Finally, they decided to come up with a temporary solution. However, this attempt did not materialize as there was no machine in the Mahavellia B or C zones that could raise such a weight. Thereby, the temporary solution was put on hold until the proper machine for this purpose was to be dispatched from the Mahavellia office in Diganakandi. At a time when the farmers did not ask for water to be released and when there were predictions of dry weather, the officers attached to the Mahavellia Authority decided to completely open the sluice gate of the Pimburathava reservoir, which had not been subjected to any form or repair over the past 15 years. However, millions have been spent on the construction of an irrigation museum and to distribute lands owned by the Mahavellia Authority and the other events. Therefore, shouldn't there be an understanding that the sluice gate that had not been maintained for a period of time be repaired? Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources Management, this is over to you.
Well, taking a look at a story which we mentioned early on in the bulletin, the Joint Youth Front to Protect the United National Party states that the present leadership is engaged in a conspiracy to defeat the United National Party by appointing former SLF peers to the Leadership Council. Now, speaking at a media briefing in Biagama, the Youth Front pointed out that this conspiracy is being implemented with the blessings of Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is secretly dealing with the government.
The Joint Youth Front to Protect the United National Party points out that of the 8 persons appointed to the Leadership Council, 5 consist of former strongmen of SLFP and those who had crossed over from various other parties. Under such a backdrop, the front is of the opinion that the Leadership Council will not take decisions to steer the United National Party towards victory. Of the 8 members of the Leadership Council, 5 of them are not originally from the UNP. These 5 individuals are governing the UNP today. Those who are involved in taking the UNP forward and taking decisions are not UNPers. Today, Ranil Wickremesinghe, together with the government, is trying to manipulate the UNP through the Leadership Council. Why are we saying this? Vijayadasa Rajapaksa is a strongman of the SLFP and held a ministerial portfolio. He wanted to destroy the UNP. Today he is being appointed to the Leadership Council. Today he takes decisions in the Leadership Council and will take future decisions as well. Karu Jayasuriya is a chairman of the Leadership Council. He crossed over to the government with 17 UNPers and held the portfolio of Minister of Public Administration and Home Affairs. Now the chairman of the Leadership Council has been given to such an individual. Who is Mangala Samarveda? He is the leader of the Cinnamon Poles army who called Ranil Wickremesinghe Mr. Bean. He was doing this while sitting in the SLFP.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහට කවදාකවත් එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂය නැවත ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්න බැහැයි කියලා මේ මහ පොළොව තුල මතයක් හදපු.
He created a public opinion that the UNP will never be able to secure victory. Lakshman Kiriyala, also an SLFPer. Lakshman Kiriyala wanted to destroy the UNP. He too held a ministerial portfolio. Is not originally from the UNP.
UNP කාරෙක් නෙමෙයි වෙනත් පක්ෂයකින් එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයට ආපු පුද්ගලෙක් තමයි
crossed over to the UNP from a different party. It is clear that Ranil Wickremesinghe had appointed former members of the SLFP to the Leadership Council with the objective of destroying the UNP through their decisions and on the whim and fancy of the government. We want to ask Venerable Girambe Anand Thera whether this was the aim he envisaged to achieve with the appointment of the Leadership Council. At a time, DS Ranayaka has been recognized as the father of the nation. Dudley Ranayaka, the father of agriculture. Ranil Wickremesinghe today has been branded as the father of defeats by steering the party to election defeats for 20 years. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa has been appointed to the post fell vacant by Thalata Athukorala. Who is Thalata Athukorala? Thalata is a sister of former UNP General Secretary Gamini Athukorala. Can you even compare the qualifications of Vijayadasa and Thalata? Vijayadasa crossed over from the SLFP. This Leadership Council comprises of individuals who wash the mud of Ranil Wickremesinghe.
කාන්තා නියෝජනයක් නැති නපුංසක නියෝජනය එකතු කරන මේ රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමා එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ හතුරා බවට පත් වෙලා ඉවරයි. අපි දැනගන්න ඕනේ තරුණයන් හැටියට
We as the youth of this country should understand the direction in which this Leadership Council is heading to. We are aware there are no such Leadership Councils in the world. Leaders rally people around them and move forward as one. We urge the 4.7 million UNP supporters to exercise their franchise wisely during the upcoming Western Provincial Council polls.
මේ පැවැත්වෙන බස්නාහිර දක්න ඡන්දෙදී ඔබගේ නිවැරදි තීන්දුව තීරණය දෙන්න මේ අවස්ථාවේදී
United National Party parliamentarian Ravi Karunanayake posed questions over the expenditure incurred by Sri Lanka Cricket on stadiums that come under its purview. Minister of Sports Mahindananda Alutkamage said that the highest expenditure was incurred for the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium in Hambantota.
Expenditure from Premadas International Cricket Stadium 1,714 million rupees. Data for Dambul International Cricket Stadium not available. For the Pallekali International Cricket Stadium is 1,006 million rupees. 15 million rupees for the Galle International Cricket Stadium. 34 million rupees for the Velgadar Stadium. These facts are from 2008 to 2012. Expenditure for the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium is 4,286 million rupees. Sri Lanka Cricket has presented its accounts, and in this it states that the SLC has made a loss of 652 billion rupees in 2013, of 160 million which has been spent on interest. Now Sri Lanka Cricket has fallen under scrutiny because a sum of 4,800 million rupees was spent on building one cricket ground under your administration. So how do you suggest that you solve this problem and turn these losses into profits?
කොහොමද මේක निराකරණය කළා මේ අලාභය ලාභය බවට පරිවර්තනය කරන්න පුළුවන් වන්නේ අමතුමනි කෙත්තාරාම ක්‍රීඩාංගණයේ ඉඩ ප්‍රමාණය සහ
When you consider the space allocated for the spectators, parking lots, length and breadth, the number of acres of the Kettarama cricket grounds, the Hambantota grounds is 4 times bigger. There is no issue in the expense of the construction of the stadium because other stadiums like the Pallekali Stadium were maintained and remodeled after renovation. But the Hambantota ground was constructed from scratch, which was initially a jungle. So this was a new construction, thus the high expense.
අලුතෙන්ම කැලයක් තිබ්බ එකක් ඉදි කරලා අලුතෙන්ම ඉදි කිරීම. ඒ නිසා තමයි මේ වියදම වැඩි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
Well, in sports, starting off with cricket news, Sri Lanka Cricket has decided to support the revised resolutions forwarded by the ICC at the ICC board meeting held on the 8th of February 2014. The communique issued by SLC reads that the Executive Committee of Sri Lanka Cricket that convened yesterday had unanimously decided to support the ICC paper. It adds that the members were satisfied with the amendments made in the areas of governance and reached the decision.
Before wrapping up, the principal of John Kotalawala School, Kurunegala, Saman Indra Ratna, has been arrested by the National Child Protection Authority. According to SSP Ajit Rohan, a police media spokesperson, he was arrested for allegedly reprimanding a girl over a Facebook photograph that led to her subsequent suicide. For more details, tune in to our 10 o'clock primetime news bulletin on Sirasa TV.
And with that, we wrap up today's edition of Primetime News. As always, it is a pleasure having you with us. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Shahin Jirangpati.
And I'm Sonali Banigabadage. Good night.